Hello and welcome to Genoa. We are here at the Luigi Ferrari Stadium this Sunday afternoon for the big match of round 27 of the Serie A season. We are about to watch Genoa take on Juventus. I am Patrick Taroni, your commentator for this match, and I am joined this afternoon by Paul Visca.
Good afternoon, Patrick. Good afternoon, everybody.
Well, it is a big match indeed because Genoa have gone 5 games without a win. Juventus are currently sitting second in the Serie A table, having dropped behind Milan momentarily, at least for the first time probably this season. All equal on games, of course, but Genoa really looking to bounce back and start climbing up this Serie A table. How do you see this match going, Paul?
Well, today will be a test of the Juventus resolve. 13 has proved to be unlucky for the Bianconeri. 13 wins, but also 13 draws. And number 13 came in midweek at the Dallara against Bologna. And now, as you say, Patrick, Juve trail Milan for the first time this season, having played the same number of matches. However, the role of underdogs might just suit the spirit of Antonio Conte's team better.
Well, there are some changes to both sides because it's emergency situations at the back for both Genoa and for Juventus. Genoa have 3 players out with injury. They have no Andreas Granqvist, who's probably out for the rest of the season, no Luca Antonelli and no Cesare Bovo. So at the back they are playing Caladze and Roger Carvalho in what is his most important game of his career with Genoa. Just 1 appearance from the start and 1 substitution for the centre-back for Genoa this afternoon. Whilst Juve, well, of course, they have no Barzagli or Chiellini, both injured, and Bonucci picked up 2 yellow cards against Bologna, so he's suspended, and it really is an emergency situation because Cáceres is playing alongside Vidal. Vidal, of course, more of a midfielder generally, but being forced at the back because Juve do not have another central defender. So it'll be very, very interesting to see how that pans out at the back. Another piece of news, Genoa, good piece of news, have Gilardino back in the side. He's playing up front alongside Palacio, and whenever these two have played together, Genoa have gone on to win the match.
And without Gilardino, that is when Genoa started their 5-match run without a win. Interesting to see Matri back in the starting lineup, how he will fare in front of goal. Remember, he scored the equaliser at the San Siro against Milan, but it's the lack of goals from Juventus forwards which is causing a bit of a headache for the Bianconeri.
Absolutely. Well, it is the best defence against the worst defence, or the worst against the best, whichever way you look at it. Genoa with the leakiest defence, Juventus with the meanest defence in Serie A. So it promised us to be a very exciting match. We have kickoff. It's Juve who start the match, and Vidal getting his first touch at the back. De Ceglie.
I'm sure Juventus will try and get Vidal on the ball at least a couple of times just to calm his nerves, because although he has played in this position.
Well, instantly Palacio, and a save by Gigi Buffon.
What a save by Buffon, almost a goal in 10 seconds.
Absolutely, that would have set a new record, I believe. A lob by Palacio. Palacio's been in splendid form all season, top scorer for Genoa. Played through by that man we were saying, Gilardino. And the Juve defence caught cold after 10 seconds of play. Buffon with a miracle save.
And it was caught out of position, was the makeshift central defender Vidal. Also, Cáceres hasn't played that often as central defender this season. That was an outstanding save by Buffon.
Well, we were saying, Paul, before the game, this could be a real thriller. Lots and lots of goals we could see here this afternoon, the way the teams are set up. As for the rest, you said Matri playing up front. He's been supported by Pepe and Vucinic. Conte, who is himself, of course, not in the dugout because he was sent off against Bologna as well. Marchisio, Pirlo and Giaccherini. So Conte opting for Giaccherini in midfield.
Yeah, we were unsure whether he would opt for Padoin. Instead he's gone for a more attacking lineup That's what a lot of Juventus fans have called for. But the 4-3-3 also helped with the return of Vucinic. Appears to be the only player who's suitable for the kind of 4-3-3 that Conte wants to play.
One back well by Lichtsteiner, who's marauding down that right-hand side. Ball into the box. It's hacked out by Frey into the stands.
Now, Lichtsteiner is one of the players I've seen from the Juventus team who's looked the most jaded. He hasn't been storming down the right-hand side as he did before the Christmas break. Let's see if he's involved in this action once again.
It's a good cross, and it's just gone wide. What a chance at the other end. Giaccherini, cross from Pepe. And it could have been 1-1.
It should have been 1-1.
Well, look how close Giaccherini came. I think he tried to control the ball more than actually shoot, and the ball went about a foot wide of the post.
At the other end, Buffon was forced into a great save there. Frey diving for the cross that never arrived, and Giaccherini just got too much on that contact.
Frey again, just getting rid of the ball. It's Scully back to Moretti with an up and under. Pirlo jumping with Palacio. It's fallen to Marchisio. Some space here for Giaccherini. Now De Ceglie coming forward. De Ceglie with two players in front of him. Back to Giaccherini. Calmly back to Vidal.
I was saying that Vidal has played in this position before, playing for the Chile national side.
That ball by Matri was behind Marchisio, so it's a break. Offside for Palacio, who was just behind Cáceres.
And actually run across the line with Cáceres, and he bumped into the Uruguayan, and that's what knocked Palacio offside. There you can see just the contact there.
Insane. 5 games without a win for Genoa. 3 defeats and 2 draws in their last 5 games.
And that was after some fantastic victories here at the Marassi. They've beaten Napoli, Udinese and Lazio, all with the same scoreline, so they like to take on the big teams here. That's when they raise their game. And you don't get much bigger than Juventus.
Here's Vucinic, losing possession, tried to do too much on this occasion. Gilardino doing well to win a free kick, holding up the ball well. He does that so well. The assist man for Genoa. He's provided more assists than anyone else since his move. And he's provided Palacio with 4 goals, so may not be scoring many. Just 1 since his move, but he certainly is fundamental for Genoa's attacking play. Here's Cáceres, trying to keep Palacio at bay. Palacio controlling the ball. Back to Scully.
As you said, Patrick, Palacio's had an outstanding season, so much so that Preziosi, the Genoa president, is ready to break the wage structure at the club to tie him down to a long-term contract. Remember, the player that Gasperini wanted for his project at Inter at the start of the season.
And that ball just trickling out of play. So Buffon with another touch, this one with his feet. It's Lichtsteiner forward to Pepe. Back to Marchisio, who tries to hit Matri quickly. That's a good bit of skill. Matri's away here. He's got Giaccherini in the middle, and he just couldn't find him in time. Good defending back there from Biondini, who still hasn't got rid of it. Now he has Biondini, and it's Gilardino tries to play the ball over the top again. And Vidal with a push.
Certainly an open game, and neither defence, as we'd expected, looking too safe. There we saw Kaladze falling to the ground as Matri had him beaten for pace. But as you said, excellent work by Biondini. And there a push by Vidal. Doesn't seem to have settled into his role yet.
Not quite yet, no. Cáceres, Vidal have only had a few days of training together as centre-backs. This ball played in, Cáceres with the header away. Giaccherini, lovely control by the little midfielder. He's got Vucinic overlapping on the left. Prefers to find Pepe on the other side. That's a good ball. Pepe now taking on his man. Pepe inside the box. Went for the shot in the end and again. And it's a save by Frey. Well, it's all happening here with just 6 minutes on the clock. It's a corner to Juventus.
Eventually Frey called in for the save. knocking the ball out for this corner.
It's Pirlo at the corner flag for Juventus, but he's starting to pile up in the box from the back.
Only really Cáceres though adds the height, the aerial threat.
Poor corner by Andrea Pirlo, too close to the near post. It's a throw to Juventus, been taken quickly. Pepe dispossessed by Scully. Gilardino doing well. He's bundled over by Giaccherini.
On that knee. He's been kept out for over the last month. If you look at this Genoa side, so many players arrived in January. Also had the coach. It was changed after the 6-1 defeat at the San Paolo. Here's one, Carvalho, Biondini, Scully, Gilardino.
Oh, that's a horrible ball by Carvalho. Matri's away here in the box. Matri, he took it too wide and lost the chance to have a strike on goal. It's going to be a corner nonetheless though. Pirlo trotting over to the corner flag once again. Good ball played through by Vucinic, and well, it's a comedy of errors at the moment with Genoa giving the ball away in midfield.
You can see the pitch is heavily sanded and some players having difficulty staying on their feet, especially Kaladze.
Vucinic at the near post. Here he is. Vucinic tried to curl it over the top, and wide of goal in the end. It's going to be a goal kick for Frey. See the chance again. Vucinic, well, he tried the piece of magic there. It's one back again by Juventus, who are certainly enjoying the early possession. Giaccherini skipping away from a challenge, and two. That's excellent play by Giaccherini. Can he find the player in the box? Well, he's still in possession here.
Great covering tackle once again by Biondini. That's the third time he saved his team with the tackles inside the penalty box.
Well, Biondini doing very well indeed, because it's actually a goal kick to Genoa, not a corner.
We're going back to Mirko Vucinic. That's the player that Juventus bought to be able to make the difference. The world-class player. He's shown flashes this season, as he's shown flashes throughout his career with AS Roma. He scored a wonderful goal equaliser against Bologna, but he needs to be more consistent. He needs to show it week in, week out.
Here is Biondini quickly on to Moretti, who goes back to Kaladze, the former Milan defender, of course. Here's Carvalho, forward to Kučka. Biondini, and he's under pressure. He's won a free kick, luckily. Marchisio was onto him straight away in midfield.
Very industrious midfield.
Palacio going for the shot, this time charged down by Vidal. Marchisio out to Giaccherini, who seems to have acres of room every time he receives the ball.
Playing out wide on the left-hand side. As Conte eventually gone for his 4-2-4. That he apparently played with Siena last season.
Strong challenge by Biondini on Lichtsteiner.
As we look back up the pitch now, we've still got Pepe on the right-hand side. Vucinic more alongside Matri in the middle, and now Giaccherini will cut out on the left. Certainly asking an awful lot of Giaccherini in midfield to cover also the left flank.
Jankovic leaving it for Kučka now. The other side, it's Moretti in possession. Kučka back to Moretti.
Kučka, whose form certainly dipped with all the talk of a move away to Inter. Apparently he's picked up his game now, playing the same quality that put him in the shot window last season.
That's good play by the Serbian as well, Jankovic, who's won a corner kick. Taking on two Juventus players. And now it's the turn of Kaladze and the Genoa defenders to come up. Played into the middle, headed out by Marchisio. Pepe and Moretti fighting for possession. And it's going to be a Juve throw. No foul given to Moretti on that left-hand side for Genoa. Taken quickly by Juve and Lichtsteiner. Here's Marchisio. Spreading play towards Vucinic, but it's too short. Jankovic and Biondini. In fact, Rossi at the back, excuse me, playing that ball out. Here's Vidal. Gets it back from Mr. 400, Andrea Pirlo, with his 400th appearance in Serie A. Frey with a long kick. Vidal's underneath it. De Ceglie forward to Giaccherini. Here's Vucinic now. Scully coming back, and surely that's a foul. Vucinic just clipping. Scully just clipping Vucinic. Goes over to apologise and been taken already by Pirlo. Giaccherini to Vucinic. Gets it back from Matri. Here's Vucinic. Tried to find Matri again.
Good interception there by Carvalho, the Brazilian. Arrived in January, helped out by Biondini at the edge of the box once again.
Pirlo needs to be careful here. That's well played by Pirlo, but not by Marchisio. Over the top now. Gilardino to chase, and Buffon coming way out of his box.
Well, I think when they've been practicing the central defensive, there's two balls on the pitch. The game will be stopped. The central defensive partnership between Vidal and Cáceres. I think Buffon has been present as well, and he's playing as sweeper. He was quickly off his line there. Look how far out he is.
And it wasn't too far. Gilardino was there or thereabouts, about to nick the ball away from the Russian Buffon. Another corner though for the home side. Again Marchisio with a header. This time bit of an up and under. It's still in the box. Vidal on to Pepe, who goes down and wins a very valuable free kick for Juventus just outside their own penalty area.
Another corner kick from the Genoa's right hand side, not getting beyond the near post. Boško Jankovic needs a little bit more power on the cross. Maybe wants to bring some of his big men into the game. Kaladze.
Vidal bringing the ball forward. Out to Vucinic. Inside to Giaccherini. Back to Vucinic. Skips away from Biondini. Might go for a shot here. No, he's played in Marchisio. Brilliant save by Frey. Pepe, still danger for Genoa inside. And Frey calmly this time. Well, what a save and what a chance for Juventus.
Great vision by Vucinic. He picked the pass for Marchisio on the run. And the Juve player who scored so often before the winter break just can't find the back of the net again. This time denied by another outstanding block by Sebastian Frey.
Well, we'll see it shortly, but in the meantime it's play on. It's Kuchka who drove the ball from around 30 yards out. Went well wide of goal, but let's see the chance again. Beautiful ball played in. Great first time shot, and what reactions by Frey.
If only the only criticism of Marchisio's shot is it's just too direct,
too central. Well, it was close to Frey, but he had to get down quickly. No mistake. Quality save. This time Pepe losing possession. Palacio out to Jankovic, looking to take on De Ceglie. Giaccherini also doubling up the cross. Vidal somehow dealing with it. Here's Pirlo now, looking for options, and it's Giaccherini once more, who's seen lots of the ball in these opening 15 minutes. It's been a blistering 15 minutes. Chances at both ends. Marchisio on to Pepe. Pepe's cross cut out by Moretti. Here he is again. Well, this time played it straight at Moretti and wanted a free kick for a handball, but it's not going to get one. Palacio chasing this one and just took his eye off the ball as De Ceglie was covering up.
Palacio took his eye off the ball, but De Ceglie took his eye off the player, and he let Palacio make that run.
Matri won't get there ahead of Carvalho, but he does get the block. It's going to be a goal kick for Genoa. So a bit shaky at the back for both teams, as we were saying. Carvalho and Kaladze haven't settled too well either. Huge gap for Marchisio just 2 minutes ago.
You've got to say the big question mark is not so much over Carvalho, but Kaladze. The man who at Milan won basically everything there was to win.
Rossi playing the ball forward. He's played it straight at De Ceglie though. Here's Vucinic holding up play very well indeed. He's now played Marchisio in nicely. Marchisio out to Pepe. Lines up the cross. Well, the player went down. It was Matri.
Complaining he was having his shirt tugged.
Well, referee didn't take too much notice of Matri's protests. And it's Juve still in possession with Pirlo. Playing it coolly to De Ceglie. De Ceglie, that was a short ball though for Vucinic, and Pirlo's been fouled here by Gilardino.
Gilardino seems to be a little bit too concerned about his knee. And here's the cross coming in at the other side. Matri going down under pressure from Carvalho. And one shirt being tugged as much as the other.
Here's Matri again inside the box, holding off Carvalho on this occasion. Doesn't take him on though. Good defending this time by the Brazilian. Last touch was Palacios, but he's kept the ball in play. It's Carvalho again. Too long for Gilardino, and that's easy for Cáceres.
And Juventus seem to have settled into their style of play. Marchisio already getting involved in the action. We've seen him very quiet in the opening 45 minutes of late.
Here's Jankovic having to do some defending at the back. Gilardino, that's nicely on the chest for Scully. Back, of course, at the club where he made his name after a year and a bit at Lazio. Here's Marchisio. Free kick for Marchisio.
Kuczka and Marchisio exchanging pleasantries, and it continues. Yellow card. Only for the Genoa midfielder, and the home fans obviously expect the same decision against Marchisio.
So first yellow of the game. And there's a player down. Pepe Moretti also tangling, and Moretti has stayed down. And
now that's another injury to a defender for Pasquale Marino, and the Genoa coach will have to invent something. He's already played constant fullback this season, and the former Chievo player is just back from injury himself. Otherwise it is messed up, which would mean Rossi going to the left side, and it is the captain having words with his coach just in front of the dugout.
It looks like he's going to continue, at least for the moment, as Juve take the free kick. It's Cáceres back from Marchisio to Vidal now. Vidal to Lichtsteiner. Of course, there's that tendency to always carry the ball a little bit by Vidal. Needs to keep his position. The cross comes in. It's not going to reach Vucinic. Might reach Pirlo though. Here he is. Out to Vucinic now. Inside the box. Vucinic. The cross for Matri. It's come to Pepe, who didn't control it well. And another opportunity missed for Juve. And now Genoa can break, although they've lost possession. One back very well though by Palacio. Scully trying to find Gilardino. This time well marshalled by De Ceglie.
That's the panic in front of goal for Juventus. They're feeling the tension, and Pepe, even though they've been apparently the last couple of days, all they've been doing after their main training session is shooting practice. He just panicked when the ball came to him.
Well, the crowd were asking for a handball. That wasn't given either. Here is Pepe, possibly. This time Moretti with the header out. Some desperate defending at the back as that ball played over the top by Pirlo. Palacio with a wayward header. Not really his strong point. Here's Giaccherini now. End-to-end stuff though, the ball moving quickly as both teams attack. Marchisio holding off Scully. Now Lichtsteiner coming forward. Lichtsteiner's cross. Straight into the hands of Frey. That's an easy one. He'll be happy with that. This was the chance. In fact, it came off Moretti's arm, but you could hardly call that an arm or a handball, excuse me. It came off his leg first.
Well, the first claims for handball came from the Genoa players, though it didn't seem that Simone Pepe touched the ball with his arm.
That's very tidy play from Gilardino up front. Here's Scully looking for support. Kuchka now. Biondini out to Jankovic, and it's up to Jankovic to try and take on these two men. Giaccherini's gone past him. Decent effort, and again, just over the top.
Showing that he's just as comfortable hitting the ball with either foot. Bosko Jankovic cutting inside. And he certainly is a worry for Juventus, because Cáceres and Vidal constantly speaking to De Celje to keep his position and not to leave that Juventus left side uncovered. Also because Gilardino likes to drift over that side.
Cáceres forward to Matri, just lays it off to Lichtsteiner. He's got players in front of him. Here's Pepe, who comes in field again. Lichtsteiner is offside. He wanted it played a lot earlier. Well, after the initial 15 minutes of chances at both ends, the team's just settling down, you feel a little bit now.
As we see the close-up of Angelo Alessio. Perhaps not quite as famous as an ex-Juventus midfielder as the real coach, Antonio Conte.
Yeah, played for Juve in the late 80s, early 90s, and he's Conte's second in command, of course, dictating things on the bench this afternoon in Conte's absence. Here's Arturo Vidal. Lichtsteiner. There's not too much movement ahead of him. Very deep Matri, back to Lichtsteiner. Here's Vidal once more. To Vucinic. You feel that the best play comes from Vucinic. His shot blocked. He's still in possession though, Vucinic. Plays it square, and it was just neither here nor there for either Pepe or Marchisio.
You've got to say it was a great pass by Vucinic, neither the midfielder making the run forward. The space was there.
Yeah, it was an inviting pass, certainly, to strike it first time. Here's Vucinic again, playing it to Matri. And this time, Kaladze did just enough to get a block on the shot. Jankovic taking on De Celje once more, and every time Giaccherini comes back to double up, but Juve have possession. It's given away by Genoa, played through by Pepe. No foul given though. He'd already played the ball when he went down. It's going to be a Genoa throw.
Tidy play once again by Carvalho. But with that counter-attack, Pepe had three options and he held on to the ball too long once again. Perhaps his claim for a free kick was a valid one. And Juventus certainly on top in this game. In the 25th minute.
Well, like many of the Juve games, especially lately, they certainly dominate in terms of play and possession. And they create the chances. It's just finding that goal.
One aspect of this afternoon, Patrick, is that there's a lot more movement up front.
Here's Giaccherini inside in the box, and too easily stopped by Rossi on this occasion before he could get across away, and this might be dangerous as Genoa break. Palacio peeling away on the left-hand side, Cáceres having to follow him, Palacio, and De Celje in the right place, but it was dangerous. Scully, it's Biondini now with a cross, Gilardino just over the bar. What an excellent bit of play by Biondini, great cross, and Gilardino in front of his man really well, just stretching his body, excuse me, and couldn't keep his header down.
As you said, excellent covering before by De Celje. He knew exactly where his man was. This time though, Giaccherini didn't. He lost Biondini, and the midfielder powered into the box, and that was a decent opportunity for Gilardino.
Good control by Vucinic on the chest. Back to De Ceglie. Here he is once more, the left back. Vucinic through to Giaccherini. Nicely done. Here's Matri. And he's had to play it out wide to Pepe. Pepe's cross has gone out for a corner kick. So Pirlo is going to have to go over to the corner flag once again. 27 minutes on the clock. 0-0 between Genoa and Juve.
Here's the run once again from Biondini. He played on a great cross, just a little bit too much on it though for Gilardino. Didn't time his jump to perfection.
Pirlo this time. He deliver a better ball in the middle. It's headed out by Gilardino. Again Pirlo inside. And the shot. Marchisio. Handball. Possibly. No. The referee not given anything. Well, I certainly saw a hand. Whether it was intentional or not, but it's Genoa in the meantime who come away. It's Gilardino. And there's a lot of space in the midfield.
That's all Juventus complaint this season. They've only had one spot kick in their favour. And all of the 50-50 decisions seem to go against them. That one there, I really need the use of a replay. The referee doesn't have that advantage. Great play by Boško Jankovic.
Excellent play. Jankovic held on to the ball for a long, long time. And Gilardino unable to turn it towards goal.
Replay. Again, haphazard defending. A shot from Marchisio broke out. If it was handball, it was certainly all very close. And
yeah, cameraman wasn't quite up to speed on that occasion. Hard to say from the replay. Vucinic. Vucinic again going past Kučka, trying to play it through to Marchisio. And Vucinic really the danger man for Juventus. It's given away though horribly to Pirlo. Needs to be careful. He's given it to Giaccherini. Well, no Juventus player really wants to shoot at the moment. Giaccherini, I thought, might have taken a shot quickly on the edge of the box. Eventually Matri's cross just curling out of play.
And Genoa caught out because Kučka had actually lost his football boot. Vucinic had taken off at the heel, and that's a player down in midfield. You can see Kučka at the edge of his box doing up his boot now. And Juventus should have taken advantage. You said, Patrick, they should be at least trying to hit the target a little bit more with shots from outside the box.
Frey with a goal kick. Pirlo underneath it. Lovely control, but he's lost out to Scully. Kaladze back to his defensive partner, Carvalho. Carvalho giving it away to Vucinic, but played forward towards Gilardino. Nice flick by Gilardino. And Palacio in there ahead of Cáceres. Vidal playing a risky ball. De Ceglie.
Solid tackle by Cáceres on the ball. And this time the decision goes against Genoa.
Well, that was very risky play, got to say, by Pirlo, who tried to dink.
There's the tackle by Cáceres, cleanly on the ball. And the Genoa fans thought it was the same in midfield.
Here's Matri at the other end for Juve. Back to Lichtsteiner. He's got Pepe inside. Here he is to Pirlo. Pirlo might have a shot. He does. It was blocked, I believe, by Kučka. Palacio picking up the loose ball. He can turn and go, Palacio. He went a little bit too far. Give it away to Pepe. Back to Pirlo. It's a short ball, but Giaccherini gets there. Back to Pirlo again, pulling the strings, of course. Pirlo! Well wide in the end.
At least Pirlo's decided that he can have a crack from outside the box. And there, Sebastian Frey was a worried man, the ball though just swerving wide of target.
Well, he was given acres of room. Really should have done better with that shot, Pirlo.
Also because the wide players in midfield there for Genoa stopped running. Boško Jankovic one side, Scully the other, leaving Biondini and Kučka. Too many players to cover. And it left that huge gap in the middle.
Well, we saw the reaction from Frey. Wasn't a happy chat, but Palacios on here. Palacio with the ball in. Cáceres ahead of Scully. It's still in play. De Chillier. Vidal. Free kick for Vidal. Palacio played in a low cross on this occasion. Only Scully making the run into the box.
And Buffon with the goal kick. Remember Buffon, 15 seconds, 10 seconds into the game, with an outstanding save to deny Palacio.
Calante and Rossi taken far too long. Giaccherini picking up the loose ball. And that could have been more dangerous than it turned out to be. Here's Giaccherini taking on Rossi. The cross is too long from Giaccherini. So once again, Juve doing everything very well until they get to that final ball.
And both Pepe and Mata at the height of the penalty spot. Nobody holding off at the far post.
Throw for Genoa deep inside their own half. Moretti with the throw. It's gone over the head of Gilardino. Lichtsteiner challenged from behind, but it will be a throw to Juventus. Pepe holding off his man. Here's Lichtsteiner now. Has to go back, Lichtsteiner to Vidal. Out to De Chillier. Vucinic gets it through to Giaccherini. Giaccherini is clear here. Can he get a decent cross away? No. Well, he cut back and just lost contact with the ball. Here's Vucinic, who again is keeping possession. This time, free kick has been given almost at the request of Vucinic.
And the Genoa player's not happy. Vucinic trying to spin away from his man. Fell to the ground. The referee hadn't blown the whistle. Well, that's the way it appeared anyway, from here in the press box.
Well, you can understand Genoa's frustration, because Vucinic picked up the ball and demanded a free kick, and eventually referee Rizzoli gave it to him. It was taken quickly and then it was brought back.
And there's something going on here in the press box. Antonio Conte, I think, is looking on from behind the perspex, the plexiglass, and he's receiving a welcome from the Genoa supporters.
Well, he can concentrate on the match, and it's Pirlo lining up this free kick. Good position for Pirlo. Plenty of black and white shirts inside the box as well.
There's also that top corner, tantalisingly open for him if he can just get it up over the four-man wall.
Certainly is. We've got a perfect view from where we are. He goes for it, and it's just over. Frey had it covered anyway.
Too much loft on the ball.
Goal kick by Frey. Jankovic flattened by Giaccherini this time.
Pirlo only one goal for the Bianconeri. That from a direct free kick against Catania.
And that was the last victory by Juventus, February 19th.
Another decision that goes against Genoa. Offside, Gilardino. And he was being held there by De Chillier. There you can see though, one hand holding one shot, the other the other.
6 of one and half a dozen of the other, as Cáceres brings the ball forward for Juve. We are in fact in the last 10 minutes of the first half. Giaccherini just tried to touch it on. Here's Giaccherini on the edge of the box. Pirlo spins away from Kučka beautifully. Out to Pepe. Pepe with another cross. And again, he can't get it past Moretti.
Again, claiming handball, Simone Pepe.
Unsuccessful crossing this afternoon from Simone Pepe.
And he's complaining with the referee's assistant, and he's going to get himself in trouble.
Yellow card for Pepe.
Just the final pass lacking for Juventus.
Let's have a look again. Well,
the arms are down by his side. What more could Moretti do? He'd have to chop his arms off.
Absolutely, I agree. He had his arms behind his back. It struck the top of his arm, but it's just going to be a foul. Gilardino on Vidal. Certainly the atmosphere heating up here at the Marassi Stadium. Vidal bringing the ball forward. He's now got to trot back and get back into defence. Pepe once more inside to Vucinic. Just lets it go through his legs. Here's Matri, and a late block by Rossi. Unbelievable.
Wonderful defending by the Genoa captain. There the ball was slid through. Chance for Matri. We said the final pass has just been lacking. There it was perfect by Vucinic. But who would have expected the number 7 to pop up in that position?
It's good play by Matri as well. He took it well in his stride.
Certainly nothing wrong with what Matri did in front of goal. Just Rossi seemed to understand before the striker did what his intentions were. Still, Juventus on top, and they'll be disappointed they're not in front.
Absolutely. Moretti with the throw. And here's Palacio. Vidal. He's got Vucinic free. He prefers to hold up play. Lichtsteiner to Pepe, back to Pirlo. Taking it a little bit far, Pirlo. Kuchka, a tough customer, but Pirlo holding him off well, playing Pepe in behind the defender. Pepe cuts back into the box, just didn't cut that ball enough, and just allowed Moretti to get his run back in line. So good defending. Biondini now dispossessed by Pirlo's, all over him. Juve have it back. Marchisio, Giaccherini. Marchisio still forward. Here's Pepe. No free kick given. Gilardino. Juve have got to get back now. There's only 2 players for Genoa, but they look dangerous every time they go forward.
So the handball there by Vidal at the edge of the box, also pulling by Di Ceglie, but a free kick for Genoa. And there's going to be a yellow card for Di Ceglie.
Well, a few yellows coming out now.
Di Ceglie is just not pushing forward at all. He's been told by Antonio Conte to help out Vidal and Cáceres in defence. And there, however, his positional sense has always let him down. And Palacio got it in between the 2 Juventus players. And the result is this free kick. That hadn't been given for the tug by Di Ceglie. It would have been, I'm sure, for the handball by Vidal.
Well, Pepe is arguing with the referee.
He expected the free kick further up the pitch that set off the counter-attack for Genoa.
Absolutely, but he needs to stay calm, Pepe.
And it's Stefan Lichtsteiner who's telling Simone Pepe to calm down. How things change.
Well, this is a very good opportunity for Genoa. Jankovic, of course, strikes a mean free kick. He is going to blast this one, and I wouldn't want to be in that Juve wall right now. Rossi also standing there next to Jankovic, but it's going to be Jankovic to take.
Right or left-footed. We've seen them, you can hit them with either foot. Five-man wall.
Absolutely.
Gilardino on the end, ready to duck when needed.
He struck it very low. Didn't really get enough power behind the strike this time.
And perfect positioning by Gigi Buffon.
Just dribbled into his arms, really. Not the best of free kicks. Marchisio. Here he is again. Started well, but had a bit of a dip. in the middle part of this half. He's played a beautiful ball out to Vucinic, who tried to take it beyond Rossi on his chest. Unsuccessfully so.
Vucinic already thinking what he was going to do next before it actually slipped past his fullback. Certainly been Juventus' most inventive player in this first half.
Gilardino back to Biondini, and that's a wonderful pass out to Scully. Now Moretti coming up.
Jankovic here on the near side, completely unmarked, just that Genoa not getting the ball out quickly enough.
There's Kaladze forward. That's a bit of a heavy touch. Nice idea by Kaladze, as Rossi was making the run into the box. A rare foray forward for Rossi.
With the final 3 minutes of the first half, it looks like
given away by Pirlo, and Palacios in here. He's gone past Vidal, and somehow the Juve defence get back into position.
Giaccherini back covering. I was just about to say they were set for a goal this first half. Entertaining, chances for both sides.
Been taken quickly by Marchisio. Now Pirlo has to bring De Ceglie into play. Here's Vucinic. Once again, Matri making the run across goal. Pepe's free, but well, it's going to get there. I thought that Moretti would intercept, but Pepe has in fact got the ball, and again he struck it straight at Moretti. This time, that's a better cross. Was towards Giaccherini.
Moretti hedging his bets there rather than sliding in and missing the ball, just to wait until Simone Pepe picked it up, because he's driven so many crosses into Moretti this afternoon. He's added another as well to the tally. Simone Pepe just not even getting that half yard in front of the full back.
Giaccherini's ball over the top, pretty poor.
There's an excellent run by Vucinic.
Vidal doing just enough against Palacio at the other end. It's been a strange sort of game, because Genoa have had their chances, but really Cáceres and Vidal haven't been troubled too much at the back. They haven't been overworked, that's for sure, as Juve have really dominated possession. It's a free kick in the meantime for Genoa.
Another one of these free kicks claimed by the players. Certainly going over the ball, Marchisio.
Jankovic again is free.
That's also because De Ceglie's been asked to help in the central defenders, give them an extra cover there. And Boško Jankovic just kept on out in his touchline, and it would put some more pressure on the Juventus defence.
Intercepted by Vidal, but Vucinic this time giving the ball away in a dangerous position. Kučka, and he's found Jankovic. He's got space here for a cross. He prefers to cut back in. Jankovic, and well, Genoa supporters not happy with that bit of play.
He was caught in two minds, maybe even more.
Well, just 1 minute is going to be added at the end of this first half. A very entertaining first half it's been, but no goals. Somehow, extraordinarily so, no goals have been scored.
Thanks to two excellent goalkeepers.
That's a nice back heel by Giaccherini. Pirlo goes away from Kučka. Inside to Matri. And it was well read by Kaladze. And sand popping up all over the place as the players dive in. This turf, not the best, but that's it. It's half-time, 0-0 between Genoa and Juventus. Could have been 1-1 after just 5 minutes of play, with Buffon making an excellent save after 10 seconds, and then after a few minutes, Frey at the other end. But we're going to have to wait until the second period for some goals. We're going to take a short break, but of course, don't go away. Join us for the second half of Genoa Juventus.